Welcome to Pembrey Race Circuit in South Wales for round 5 of the 2018 Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship. Blazing sunshine greets the drivers and their teams for the first of 2 days of action here at the Pembrey circuit, a regular haunt of the BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross series over the years. Some more great race action coming up as Luke Constantine of the junior class looks to extend his overall lead in the BTRDA Championship. We begin with a lap of the circuit on board with the Subaru of Dan Beattie. The cars leave the start line, head round the left-hander, then up towards the first corner on this clockwise circuit at Senna's, and over what will be the finish line a little later on. Then it's into the Toyo Tires infield section. Flick the car right, then left, then it's back out towards the tarmac, and then up to the Brooklands hairpin. One car pushing past Dan Beattie there, that's his regular rival Paul Davis. Then it's along Speedway Straight, down towards the right-handed Carter's hairpin, hard onto the brakes, round to the right into Carter's, and then back onto the infield section through Paddock Corner, and then onto another straight, heading up towards the long left-hander at Hanson's, named after Rallycross legend Kenneth Hansen. Of course, his son's still competing in international Rallycross today. And then it's up to the final corner, the right-handed flick at Ollie's, and the end of the lap here on the clockwise layout at Pembrey. Anti-clockwise racing will be coming up in round 6 of the BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship. We begin the action then with the HG Installations Limited Junior Category A final. The Constantine family locking out the front row. Brothers Luke and Tom and their cousin James. James is in the green car on the right of your picture. Luke starting in the middle in the yellow car, Tom in red. And away we go with the A final for the juniors. 6 laps the distance in this one. It's side by side down towards the first corner between the yellow car of Luke, the green of James. Further back in the order we've got Amy Baines in her Vauxhall Corsa. Also Eleanor Corner in the grey Suzuki Swift and the black and orange machine of Morgan Root. So it is Luke Constantine, unbeaten in the junior class so far, who leads a family 1-2-3 around Brooklands hairpin for the first time. There's Morgan Root in 5th place in car number 38. They head down Speedway Straight for the first time up towards the hairpin at Carter's. It is Luke Constantine, his first ever season of motorsport, looking to win 5 A finals out of 5 this year. James, his cousin, in 2nd place, and Luke's brother Tom in 3rd in the red black car as they head through Paddock Corner up towards the infield section at Hanson's, and then out towards Ollie's towards the end of the first lap. Luke Constantine a little bit sideways there as they came into Ollie's. Eleanor Corner is the best of the rest, and up the inside James about to take the lead, I think, as they head onto the tarmac section through Senna. Then it's up towards the Toyo Tires infield section. James has indeed got the lead away in the number 8 car. The Constantine family have pretty much locked out the junior category throughout this year. Nobody else getting as much as a look in. Eleanor Corner and Morgan Roots fighting for 4th place. Behind them, Amy Baines, the ex-autocross competitor on grass tracks in her Vauxhall Corsa. Luke on James's tail there as they come through Paddock Corner, running wide. Eleanor Corner kicking up the dust in the background. The track has been watered regularly during this event, but still plenty of dust. It is a boiling day here in South Wales. The track just west of Llanelli, near to Bury Port. Bit of understeer there from James Constantine, but he keeps the lead ahead of Luke. Now, is Luke going to be beaten in an A final for the first time this season? Up to 4th is Morgan Roots in the number 38, ahead of Eleanor Corner. She's the daughter of Guy Corner, regular competitor in the super modified category over the years with his Peugeot. 6th position further back, Amy Baines, newcomer to Rallycross this year with the Corsa. The Constantines 1, 2 and 3 then. 1.5 seconds was the lead for James over Luke at the end of the previous lap. We're on the 3rd lap of 6 in this A final as they ride their way over the infield section through Paddock Corner, then through towards Hanson's at the end of the short straight here past the back of the Pembray paddock, into the left-hander at Hanson's, then up towards Ollie's, back onto the tarmac. Still leading the way, it is James Constantine in number 8. Is he going to beat his 2 cousins here? Morgan Root keeping pace with them in the number 38 machine, the black car with the orange camo design. Still out front is James Constantine, the black and green machine sponsored by Constantine Contract Services. The recaps come down by a tenth or 2. Tom Constantine in 3rd place, a further 2.8 seconds off the lead. Further back by over another second is Morgan Root in fourth. James Constantine, not surprisingly, with the fastest lap that time round, 51.2 seconds. Towards Paddock and then towards Hanson's they go. Fuel filler cap flapping open on the second place car of Luke Constantine, number 107. James again pushing a bit wide there, the car understeering a little. Due to complete lap number 4 this time. Morgan Root keeping pace with them in the number 38. Then further back Eleanor Corner and Amy Baines, the two young lady racers. Toyos they come then back towards the Brooklands hairpin and down Speedway straight towards Carter's. Morgan Root in 4th place. Looks like he's possibly slowing up a bit there. Yes, he's pulled to the right. I think Morgan Root's got a problem. Yes, he's dropped away from the 3 Constantines out front, so Morgan Root's in trouble here by the look of things. He could be caught by Eleanor Corner for 5th place. Amy Baines in 6th. Again, a bit of understeer through Paddock from the number 8's car. James Constantine hanging on very nicely in front. Again, a lot of understeer this time as they come up towards Hanson's. Luke Constantine up alongside his cousin here. James has got the inside line though for Ollie's, holds him off. It's going to be close between these two around the final lap. 3rd place is still Tom Constantine. I think Morgan Root has dropped out. Yes, he's out of the race, so up into 4th place comes Eleanor Corner. It's just between the 3 Constantines for the lead in this one. Tom's not far away either. He's trying to close in on Luke. The pair of James and Tom trying to defeat Luke for the first time this year. Tom's done the fastest lap of the race, 51.044. Only a few corners to go now in this junior A final. There's Eleanor Corner up into 4th place with Morgan Root out of the race. Amy Baines is 5th. Here they come then over the infield section for the final time. Luke Constantine is on the verge of his first defeat in an A final this season. Can James Constantine hang on in front of him? Here they come towards the last corner of the race. Having a look on the inside, Luke Constantine draws up alongside him. This is going to be close on the run to the line. Luke's going to get through on the very last corner on the inside, and he keeps his unbeaten run alive by the scantest of margins. James Constantine can't believe it. He pulls up on the outside. 3rd goes to Tom. They get the family 1, 2, 3, and Luke, by the narrowest of margins, keeps his unbeaten run of A finals intact. 5 out of 5 for Luke Constantine in car number 107. Eleanor Corner is 4th. Amy Baines is 5th. James Constantine is going to be furious with himself there. Just left the slightest gap on the inside coming into Ollie's corner for the last time. And he is very angry with himself indeed. Luke coming through to snatch the win on the very last corner, winning by just over 1/10 of a second ahead of James. Tom completes the family lockout to the podium, then Eleanor Corner and Amy Baines the other finishers. Morgan Root was a retirement in our HD Installations junior final.
Luke, this is becoming quite regular. Congratulations on your win again on your A final. You're driving fantastic this season. How was that for you this afternoon?
Oh, it was really close at the end. I was leading off the start. I got a good start, and I saw in my mirrors James and Tom were very close behind, and I made one mistake. I think it was on the 2nd or 3rd lap, and James just nipped up the inside. And yeah, so I kept on his heels, and I dropped back a little bit, but I pulled it back again, and then I waited for on the last corner of the last lap and just nipped up his inside. But yeah, it was really close.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, the action between you 3 Constantine boys out there is always fantastic anyway, and you were so close behind him, swapping and changing all the race, and then to get him on the last corner, absolutely fantastic. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was really close.
Excellent. Well, hopefully we'll have some more action tomorrow, and let's hope you get another win.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
The pre-1995 Classic Division next up for their A final, sponsored by Steve Gaunt Trailer Hire. David Ewing was a double heat winner in his Fiesta, but the other heat went to Ryan Taylor in the BMW, and it's the BMW pilot who leads into the first lap. David Ewing, the flying farmer from Cumbria, in 2nd place in the Fiesta Evo, and 3rd place is Ryan Stutchbury in the number 13 Peugeot 205. Those 3 have already gone clear of former champion Sean Buckley in the Mark II Escort in 4th place. Then we've got Mark Finch in his Ford Fiesta, the ex-production class runner, ran a Citroën Zara last season, and in 6th position is Helen Crooks with her Mini. It's Ryan Taylor's BMW looking for his 2nd A final win of the season in the E30 BMW 2nd. David Ewing having his best meeting of the year so far with the rear-wheel drive Ford Fiesta Evo, under fire from Ryan Stutchbury. He was a winner here at Pembrey earlier in the season, running a bit wide there through the very dusty infield section. It's Ryan Taylor who will lead the first lap. Then Sean Buckley from North Wales in the number 3 Mark II Ford Escort, battling with Brian Hardman in his similar Escort over the last few seasons. Brian not competing this year though. Sean in 4th place here. The Mark II Escort previously dominant in this division, but it has met its match this year. Plenty of variety in the pre-1995 Classic category. It's over a second in it between Ryan Taylor and David Ewan at the end of that first lap. There's Mark Finch, the bright yellow Ford Fiesta, back in 5th place, the ex-Dutch Championship winning car. 3rd place is Ryan Stutchbury with the Peugeot. Dan Scott has raced alongside him in a similar, well, near identical car over the last couple of seasons, but Scott having a year out this year. David Ewan in 2nd place, there is Stutchbury in 3rd, Buckley is in 4th place. Onto the tarmac they go to start at lap number 3. Ryan Taylor running well in the BMW, number 125. Back onto the tarmac at Brooklands Hairpin. After Britain's first race circuit down in Surrey. Sean Buckley a bit sideways there in the Ford Escort. Lead has increased to 1.7 seconds for Ryan Taylor, so he's gained just over half a second ahead of David Ewan on that last lap. Through the infield section, through paddock and up towards Hanson's goes the BMW. Most famous E30 BMW in Rallycross back in the late 80s was a Norwegian Arild Martinsen, which had several hundred more horsepower than this one. Ryan Stutchbury has caught David Ewan for 2nd place, the Ford against the Peugeot. We've got Sean Buckley, travelled the length of Wales from his base near Prestatyn to race here today. Ryan Taylor really pulling away now, he's over 3 seconds clear of David Ewan. Less than a second in him for 2nd place now. Sean Buckley a little further back in the Escort, they're well clear of Mark Finch and Helen Crooks in the orange Mini Clubman in 6th position. This is looking good for Ryan Taylor. David Ewan will be very pleased with his day's efforts. 2 heat wins today in the Fiesta. He's been plagued by mechanical problems over the last 12 months or so with that car. One of Rallycross's nice guys holding off Ryan Stutchbury here for 2nd place in the Peugeot number 13. Certainly hasn't been unlucky 13 for him this season so far. He is still in contention for the pre-1995 Classic title. 4th place we've got Sean Buckley in the Escort. It's the penultimate lap now of this Steve Gaunt Trailer Hire Classic A final. Ryan Stutchbury is going for 2nd place as they head down Speedway Straight, but David Ewan moves across in the Fiesta Evo, takes the line. He's actually closed the gap a little to Ryan Taylor. 2.7 seconds in it for the lead. I don't think he's going to catch the BMW. The dust is proving a bit of a problem here for everyone except Ryan Taylor, who's out in front. Stutchbury in the Peugeot, right on David Ewan's bumper there as they come through paddock up towards Hanson's. Leader slides the BMW into Ollie's, back onto the tarmac. Ryan Stutchbury in 3rd. I do love the eyes on the headlights of the Peugeot. Great entertainer is Ryan Stutchbury. Into the last lap they go then. Ryan Taylor looking good for victory in his BMW. Looking for what I believe will be his 2nd A final win of the season. He's over 5 seconds clear of this battling trio. Sean Buckley only just over a second behind Ryan Stutchbury now. The other 2 cars further behind Mark Finch, we could just see there in the background in the Fiesta. It's going to be a win for Ryan Taylor. Here comes the BMW ahead of the man from Cumbria. David Ewan in 2nd place. Looks like he's just about going to hang on, but it's going to be a win for Taylor. Through Hanson's he comes up towards Ollie's for the last time. Ryan Taylor wins the Steve Gaunt Trailers pre-1995 Classic category. Coming through for 2nd place, it looks as though David Ewan is just about going to hang on in the Fiesta. He does for his best meeting of the season so far. Stutchbury 3rd, Buckley 4th. And then further back, Finch and Crooks still running. There is Helen Crooks in her Mini. Almost a full lap behind Ryan Taylor at the end of that one, but all 6 cars make it home in our Steve Gaunt Trailer Hire pre-1995 Classic final. Ryan Taylor weaves the BMW in celebration. A clear win in the end for the BMW pilots, winning by 4.3 seconds, so David Ewan did get the gap down slightly. He takes 2nd place by 0.3 of a second. Sean Buckley not far behind in 4th, then Mark Finch and Helen Crooks further back.
Ryan, you're leading the championship and you've just won your A final for round 5 as well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It looks like the track suits you.
Yeah, it's good. It is dusty, but yeah, very good. It is. I do like the track. It's good and quick.
It seems to suit you and you seem to be having a good time out there as well.
Really good. Yeah, I do like it. Enjoy it.
Well, they are changing the track tomorrow. Yeah, they're going to reverse it. How are you feeling about that?
Well, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we can do it. Yeah, it should be good.
So, you've got your points again. Who was hot on your tail out there?
David in the Fiesta and that Ryan Suchbury as well. He was good, to be fair. All day. I mean, I've had a few good and a few bad results, but in the final it seemed to prove out and go. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, exactly. Brilliant, well done, and we'll see you tomorrow for round 6.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Some great racing here so far then in sunny South Wales from the Rallycross gents and ladies. We're moving on next then to the AS Performance Super Modified category, a whole variety of cars in this division. We will join the B final first of all. We join it midway through with the Ford Puma of number 339 Gary Mitchell in the lead. In second place, Peter Wharton in his Peugeot 206 GTI, and David Brown and another Ford Puma in third place. Top 2 finishers of these 3 will qualify into the back of the grid for the A final. Gary Mitchell leads the way in the Puma, coming back to racing this year, as had a spell out after breaking his leg in a motorbike accident on the road, unfortunately. But Gary Mitchell is back, and looks like he is heading for the A final in AS Performance Super Modified. Leading the way through the infield section there, the Ford Puma. He's even appeared on a full tarmac circuit with this car on Boxing Day last year. He raced the Puma at the Plum Pudding Car Races at Mallory Park in Leicestershire, racing with a mixed grid of saloon cars. Peter Wharton further back behind him, a couple of seconds back in the Peugeot 206 GTI in second, and David Brown in his Ford Puma further back. Feels fairly well spread out here in this B final. Gary Mitchell, by far the quickest car on circuit in this one, heading for the A final ahead of Peter Wharton. There's David Brown, the light blue Ford Puma further back. On the final lap of this B final now, sponsored by AS Performance. These 2 heading for the back of the grid for the A final. And they'll take on the likes of Tony Lynch, Pat Ryan, Mark Jones, Paul Johnson and so on. That's coming up next. Through the final corner then, Gary Mitchell in the Ford Puma, heading for victory in the B final. Comes through to take the flag ahead of Peter Wharton. They go through to the A final. David Brown will be the third and final finisher in his Ford Puma. So Gary Mitchell back to winning ways here at Pembrey this weekend. Good stuff from the first of the Puma pilots. We now head on to the A final. Gary Mitchell the winner though, a couple of seconds clearing that 1.8 to be precise ahead of Peter Wharton, and David Brown some 8 seconds off his fellow Ford Puma pilot in third place. Now it's time for the super modified A final. Patrick Ryan in the orange Vauxhall Nova won all 3 heats. He's going for a perfect score, 4 out of 4. His main rival will be Tony Lynch, the championship leader in the Ford KA. From the middle of the front row, Fred Ling in his Ford Fiesta completing the front rank. 9 cars out there. Away they go, Lynch and Ryan side by side on the run up towards Senna for the first time. Tony Lynch has just got his nose in front. He's got very sideways there. Ryan goes off. Lynch hits one of the markers there. He's going to go off as well. It looks like Fred Ling is going to take the lead in the Ford Fiesta, so the 2 favourites in trouble there, but somehow Patrick Ryan gets back onto the track around the outside of Brooklands there and has somehow kept his lead. Tony Lynch is back in the pack, in behind Grant Rees there in the black BMW Mini in his first Rallycross event for 11 years, the former junior champion. He was the first ever junior champion back in 2003. So it's Patrick Ryan who somehow, I don't know how, kept his lead in the Vauxhall Nova. Second is Fred Ling in the Ford Fiesta. They head over the infield for the first time. Third place is Paul Johnson with his BMW E36 M3. And in fourth we've got Nick Angrave, who's made a good start with the Honda Integra. Behind him Mark Jones, former champion in the Toyota MR2. Then we've got Leanne Sedgwick in her BMW Mini. There is Grant Rees. He's the team boss for Roger Thomas, who we've seen in the Clubmans 4x4 category with his Ford Focus and Opel Astra in the past. But Grant hasn't done any racing himself for a long time. Mark Jones in the MR2 back in 5th place, but the lead is with Patrick Ryan in the Vauxhall Nova, the Irishman, on board with Tony Lynch as he fights his way back up the order, past Leanne Sedgwick, former stock car racer in her BMW Mini. She's been competing in the Irish Rallycross Championship over the last couple of seasons. Facing now Mark Jones on his local circuit, the Marks Motors and Teardale Taxis MR2. Doesn't look much like a rallycross car. It's proved very effective, and he's keeping Tony Lynch behind him very nicely here, the Ford Ka. Somehow squeezing a 2.3 litre engine into the little Ford, and he's going through here as they come back onto the tarmac at Ollie's, then through to the end of the lap through Toyo Tires. His next target is Nick Angrave in the Honda Integra. Jones sideways through Brooklands there, out onto the grass, down Speedway straights to lap 3. Still leading the way is Patrick Ryan. I've no idea how he kept his lead there when he and Tony Lynch had a bit of a coming together on the first lap. Tony Lynch going into one of the tyre bales, which marks where the finish line is. There goes the Lucas Oil Team Geriatric Ford Ka. Still running in the midfield. He's in 5th place. There's Paul Johnson, 3rd in the BMW. 4th, Nick Angrave in the Honda Integra. Further back in the order in this one we have Grant Rees, we mentioned in the BMW Mini, and also Peter Wharton with his Peugeot 206, who qualified via the B final, finished 2nd in that. The winner of the B final, incidentally, Gary Mitchell with the Ford Puma, failed to start this A final, so he's clearly had a problem. Patrick Ryan leads by 4 seconds then, back on board with Tony Lynch. He's caught Nick Angrave in the Honda Integra. His tail there through Carter's hairpin, up alongside him as they come through paddock. Surely the Ford is going to go through this pocket rocket Ford Ka. Yes, he's got him up into 4th position over the infield. But Patrick Ryan is going to keep his championship challenge alive. It's been Ryan and Lynch all the way in this super modified category sponsored by AS Performance so far this year. There is the Pat Ryan Motors Vauxhall Nova. Out in front ahead of Fred Ling in the Fiesta. In Ireland, the Vauxhall Nova would have been badged as an Opel Corsa. Paul Johnson in 3rd place in the big BMW, more famous as a touring car than a rallycross car over the years. And in 4th place, Tony Lynch is catching him now. It's a good recovery by Tony after he went off after the first couple of corners. Tony Lynch has previously won the category in a BMW Mini. Pat Ryan continues to lead in the Nova. Coming his pursuers, Paul Johnson under fire now for that 3rd place from Tony Lynch. It's the last lap we go of this AS Performance Super Modified A final. Toyo Tires chicane. Fred Ling up there going well in 2nd place in the number 80 Fiesta, but he's over 6 seconds down now on Pat Ryan. Further back still in 5th is Angrave, 6th is Mark Jones, 7th Sedgwick, 8th Rees, 9th is Peter Wharton in the Peugeot. The pack fairly well strung out, but it's close for 3rd place as Tony Lynch moves up onto the outside trying to challenge Paul Johnson. It didn't work, drops back a little bit from the big BMW. It's going to be a win for Pat Ryan in the Vauxhall Nova, coming home to take the checkered flag. Perfect score for Pat Ryan here today, 4 wins out of 4, all 3 heats and the A final. 2nd is going to go to Fred Ling. Paul Johnson is going to hang on ahead of Tony Lynch. He'll be disappointed with 4th place after that early off. And then in 5th position we will have Nick Angrave in the Honda Integra. 6th behind him should be Mark Jones in the MR2. A slightly subdued run by Mark Jones today. The MR2 clearly not liking these red hot conditions. He slides his way home over the line. Then Leanne Sedgwick behind him. She's followed home by Grant Rees and the other BMW Mini. Peter Wharton will be the final finisher. So the win going to Patrick Ryan by nearly 8 seconds in the end over Fred Ling, with Paul Johnson in 3rd, ahead of the well-recovered Tony Lynch, just a second between those at the flag. Nick Angrave in 5th, ahead of former champion Mark Jones. Sedgwick and Rees completing the top 8.
Pat, that was a bit dramatic, wasn't it? Tony Lynch is your main competitor really at the moment. Now, he didn't half get away from you at the beginning. What happens after that?
Look, to be honest, myself and Tony all year, you know, it's been really close racing, fierce competitor. Yeah. You know, it's been, you know, some great racing, to be fair. Just, you know, 2 of us got a good drive off the line. Tony got a little bit better of a start than I did. So I started to claw him in a little bit and just tried to keep it on around the outside. And I seen Tony obviously was carrying a bit more speed, the same as myself, and just took avoiding actions. And
you dropped back a couple of places, didn't you? Quite
did,
soon after the start.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I just had to rejoin safely, and just got the head down then, and got it from there really. So happy days.
Got it back, and unfortunately Tony had some issues, and you just battled on through there.
Yeah, I just pushed on. I didn't know if Tony had issues there. It's just unfortunate, but sure, look, we'll be here tomorrow, and be more of it, I'd say. So.
Excellent. Well, this is going to push your points right up the championship table now as well. So you're going to be beating him at the moment after this round. So round 6 is tomorrow. How are you feeling about that?
We did have a couple of issues this morning ourselves. We teased them out. Unfortunately, the car has been really reliable over the years. But as soon as I started the championship this year, just some small ailments, just niggling here and there. But we seem to got them all teased out. So hopefully, fingers crossed, tomorrow now we can just get a clean run and just get the head down and same again really.
Brilliant. Well, we look forward to seeing the battle again tomorrow. Good luck with it.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well then indeed then to Pat Bryan, the sun continuing to blaze down here at Pembray Circuit. More Rallycross coming up after this break. Welcome back to Pembray Circuit at round 5 of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship. Next up it's the Mel Williams Tyres production category. In Heat 3 for the class, this happened. Sue Lane running wide in our Honda Civic and taking out one of our cameras. Fortunately, the camera survived, although the headlight in Sue Lane's Honda didn't. But she's on the grid for the B final. We've got 6 drivers out there for this one. The top 2 qualify into the A final. Sue Lane starting alongside Lee Keeler in the Citroen Saxo and Jordine Wadge in the Citroen C2. She's made a good start and will take the early lead. Sue Lane alongside her in the red and yellow Honda Civic. They're side by side, the 2 ladies up towards the first corner at Senna. Looks like Lane's just about got the advantage on the inside ahead of Jordine Wadge in the Joe Miskauskas run Citroen C2. Lane takes the lead. Lee Keeler in 3rd place in the Citroen Saxo. Then we've got David Martin in the green Saxo in 4th place. The silver car of John Rook in 5th position. And then the Vauxhall Corsa of newcomer Gary Salmon at the back of the field, number 168. Sue Lane then, car clearly none the worse for hitting one of our cameras earlier on, leads the way. Jordine Wadge has dropped to 4th place there down Speedway Straight. Lee Keeler has come through, so has David Martin in the green Saxo. So it's Citroen 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Jordine Wadge, Britain's fastest nurse as she's known, is down to 4th place. Leading the way is Sue Lane. The Honda Civic has competed in a variety of rallycross events over the last few years. Jordine Wadge running wide there in 4th place, understeers wide out of Ollie's. John Rook still up there in 5th position in his Peugeot 106, just ahead of the blue Corsa of Gary Salmon. Top 2 finishers, don't forget, go through to the A final in this one. There is John Rook in the silver car, good battle with Gary Salmon in the Corsa. Down Speedway Straight they come. It is still the Honda Civic of Sue Lane who leads the way. Lee Keeler up there in 2nd place, looking good to get through to the A final already. David Martin still 3rd in his green Saxo. Oh, looks like he's slowing up there. Yes, David Martin's in trouble, he's pulling off, and Martin out of the race. So Jordine Wadge will go up into 3rd position in the Citroen C2. Car rented from the English-based Lithuanian Joe Miskauskas. Runs those Liqui Moly-backed Citroen C2s. And we've got John Rook and Gary Salmon still battling for 4th and 5th places. Lee Keeler closing in on our race leader here, Sue Lane. Just under half a second in it at the end of the last lap. Jordine Wadge still in 3rd place in her Citroen C2. Yellow flag out there with David Martin parked up, walking away from his Citroen Saxo. His race is over. Lane continues to lead the way. See the headlight taped up there after she impacted one of the tyre markers and also our camera earlier on. So it looks like the camera a bit tougher than Sue's Honda. There's no effect on the performance of the car. She's still leading the way ahead of Lee Keeler. John Rook still holding off Gary Salmon for 4th place. A good run by John here in the Peugeot 106. Through the right-hander at Ollie's they come. In the B final of this Mel Williams Tyres production category. Lee Keeler still there in second place. The Ashford Performance sponsored Citroen Saxo. There's one Saxo left running now with David Martin parked on the infield. 2.2 seconds was the lead at the end of the last lap. Only a second between these two. John Rook and Gary Salmon still fighting it out for fourth place. Jordine Wadge up ahead of them in third in her Citroen C2. Sue Lane into Hanson's, named after the legendary multiple European Rallycross champion Kenneth Hansen. Sons Kevin and Timmy now competing in international Rallycross as well. Bit of a lock up there from Lee Keeler. Jordine Wadge through the last corner, still in third place. Just fighting for the lead on the first lap with Sue Lane, just ran out a bit wide towards the end of the lap and dropped back. A good effort by Jordine Wadge today, a Rallycross official as well as driver. Lane continues to lead, 3/4 of a second in it at the end of the last lap. Jordine Wadge has now dropped back in the heat haze there in the third place. Gary Salmon trying to go round the outside of John Rook there, coming off Brooklands. Leaders already into paddock and up towards Hanson's. Side by side between the Peugeot and the Vauxhall for fourth place, but it's the Honda that still leads the way from the Citroen of Lee Keeler in second. Going round to start their final lap this time. Looks like these two are going to go through to the A final. This is a good effort by Sue Lane. Still in third place, Jordine Wadge. Through Toyo they go. Up towards Brooklands for the last time. It's Mel Williams Tires Production Class B final. John Rook still holding off Gary Salmon. Great effort by John here. The relative newcomer in the Corsa in fifth position. Behind John Rook in the 106. Jordine Wadge all on her own now in third place. See her sister Stephanie make her Rallycross debut at Croft, all being well at the end of the season. As meantime, Sue Lane comes through the infield section for the final time. It's going to be Sue and Lee Keeler to qualify to the A final in production. Through Ollie's corner for the final time, up towards the checkered flag. Sue Lane in her Honda Civic comes in to win the B final. Second place goes to Lee Keeler. They go through into the A final. Jordine Wadge will take third, and the battle for fourth is going to be fought right to the last bend. Gary Salmon around the outside into Ollie's. He's going to take fourth from John Rook. Well, he's fought all race long. His persistence has paid off, Gary Salmon. He takes fourth place ahead of John Rook in the Peugeot. Bad luck to David Martin. The Saxo giving up the ghost on the second lap. He fails to qualify, so the Honda and the other Saxo go through from that B final into the main A final. Win going to Sue Lane, just over a second clear of Lee Keeler. Jordine Wadge in third place, with Gary Salmon taking fourth on the last corner from John Rook. David Martin sadly failing to finish. We move on next to the A final. 2 heat wins for Luke Mason in car number 5, the Peugeot 106. The other heat won by the Silver Saxo of Dale Ford. They start either side of Keith Kershaw, the Irishman, in his blue and green Peugeot 106. We have got 10 cars out there for this A final. The 2 B final qualifiers at the back. Here we go over 6 laps with the Mel Williams Tires Production A final. Great start by Dale Ford in car number 704. The Silver Saxo leads the way ahead of Keith Kershaw, side by side with Luke Mason in car number 5. They head down towards Toyo for the first time. Keith Kershaw still side by side with Luke Mason. Andrew Smith in the Renault Clio, a bit of rubbing there with Nathan Jones in his Honda, so it's Alias Smith and Jones for 4th place. Behind them is Joe Miskauskas in the Citroen C2. Lee Keeler is 7th ahead of Sue Lane. Behind them Trevor Bevan in his Citroen Saxo, as they all pile their way down into Carter's for the first time. It's the 704 car of Dale Ford that has got the lead, leading the traffic. Also in the middle of that somewhere is Christoph Kozon, the Polish driver, in his Citroen Saxo. Luke Mason in there behind the Irishman Keith Kershaw, who's won here at Pembrey before in this series. Nathan Jones a bit sideways in the middle in the Honda Civic. He now goes wide, coming through Ollie's for the first time. They come up to start the second lap. Dale Ford with the lead ahead of Keith Kershaw. Third is Luke Mason. Fourth, Andrew Smith. We saw him have a win here at Pembrey earlier this season. Nathan Jones fifth. Joe Miskauskas, the Gary Jonah from Northamptonshire, the Lithuanian-born racer, is next in the order in 6th. Half a second inning for the lead at the end of lap 1. There is Sue Lane, our B final winner. So 10 cars out there. He's frantic out there at the moment. Looks like the M4 on a bad day. Out in front is Dale Ford in the number 704 Citroen Saxo, pulling away slightly now from Keith Kershaw. He's got Luke Mason in the similar 106, a newcomer this season on his tail. Experienced Irishman holding second place at the moment. Into Ollie's. Local racer Andrew Smith in the Clio in fourth place, number 644. It's number 704 out in front as they head into Toyos for the third time. Nathan Jones in fifth place. The first five have pulled away somewhat now from Joe Meskauskas in sixth position. He's got Lee Keeler and Christoph Kozon behind him, so we've got a multinational field here. England, Wales, Ireland, Lithuania and Poland all represented on this grid. Into Carter's go the leaders for the third time. Back onto the loose. Still the leader is Dale Ford in 704. He won the second heat, heats 1 and 3, won by Luke Mason. Keith Kershaw without a heat win today, quite a rare sight here at Pembrey. Into the right-hander at Ollie's for the third time. Andrew Smith drifting the Clio through there. He's down in fourth place. Nathan Jones catching him. We saw them have a bit of a contretemps at the start of the race. Further back in the order there's Christoph Kozon in the number 59 Saxo, chasing Lee Keeler and Joe Meskauskas. Behind him we've got Sue Lane and Trevor Bevan at the back of the field in his Citroen Saxo. Dale Ford leads by 1.7 seconds now, rocking up a bit there as he brakes for Carter's hairpin. There's Trevor Bevan, number 14. He's got ahead of Sue Lane into ninth place, sponsored by Marks Motors. That's Mark Jones's business, of course, the super modified racer. Steve Gaunt Trailers sponsored Citroen Saxo. Dale Ford continues to lead the way. 2 laps to go this time around in this Mel Williams Tires Production A final. Very spectacular there from Smith and Jones in fourth and fifth. Still Dale Ford, not racing his namesake in the Citroen Saxo today. Through Toyo into Brooklands. Keith Kershaw has gained about 0.4 of a second on that last lap. Just over a second clear of Luke Mason as well in third place. Looks like the double heat winner is going to have to settle for the minor placings here. Christoph Kozon chasing Lee Keeler, the B final qualifier. Sue Lane a little further back in the Honda this time, battling with Trevor Bevan. That's the back of the field. There's the Honda just behind the Silver Saxo, but it's another Silver Saxo leading the way, coming round to start his final lap this time. Dale Ford towards Ollie's corner. It's getting closer and closer for second, third and fourth. A slightly battered Renault Clio there of Andrew Smith has closed right up on Luke Mason. He's going to try and have a go on the last lap for third place. Their squabbling is allowing Dale Ford to get away here in the lead. It's Kershaw second. Still Mason third. There's Andrew Smith right on Mason's tail now as they head down Speedway Straight. He's going to try and slipstream him, I think, into the Carter's hairpin. Ford's got away to the tune of 2.6 seconds now, so he gained over a second on that last lap as the rest having to battle behind him. Nathan Jones is closing up as well in his Honda. He's in the dust somewhere there in fifth place. Pretty close for second and third, but it's going to be a win for Dale Ford, a heat and final double. They come into Ollie's for the final time. They're not going to catch him. Second place Keith Kershaw. Luke Mason working hard to hold off Andrew Smith, who's having a look there, gives him a tap on the final corner. Meantime, Dale Ford takes the win in the Saxo. Keith Kershaw second, third for Luke Mason, fourth Andrew Smith, and fifth Nathan Jones. A frantic race there for the Mel Williams Tires production category. Next home it will be Joe Meskauskas ahead of Lee Keeler, and Christoph Kozon will take 8th place. Sue Lane and Trevor Bevan at the back. Lane finishing ahead of Trevor Bevan in his Saxo. Great racing there then from the Mel Williams Tires production category. Dale Ford taking the checkered flag a couple of seconds clear of Keith Kershaw after 6 laps. But I can tell you, unfortunately, Dale Ford's car failed post-race scrutineering and he was excluded from the results. So Keith Kershaw inherits the win just ahead of Luke Mason and Andrew Smith.
Keith, you took the win there. Well done. First win at Pembry this year.
It is, yeah. It's a good race now, so it was a great battle with Luke and Dale. Didn't get the best of starts, and after the second lap, Dale kind of vaulted, so I did, and trying hard to keep up. And then I started seeing Luke coming up in my rear view mirror, and there was a bit of a white 106 all over the back of me. So I settled into second place now, and had a good battle with him now, and took it to the flag, and luckily just got over the line. The clutch decided to snap off of me, so another gear change and we wouldn't have made the flag. So blessed.
Just in time.
Just in time, yeah. No, so
Brilliant.
delighted now with that, and I believe inherited the win as well. So I feel bad for Dale as well now. It was a good battle with him all day now, and great fun. So not sure what happened or why, but sure we'll take it anyway. Not nice, not the nicest to win like Dan Hurd, but rather sure we'll take it anyway, and hopefully you get a start tomorrow, and we'll have another battle tomorrow again.
Exactly, and you also are leading your class at the moment in the championship as well. So well done for that. This should put you in the top 10 points for the overall championship. So you're really pushing on up there. I mean, the car seems to be going brilliant all year, but Pembrey just seems to be a really good one for you. You do seem to go well around here. Are you finding the track enjoyable to drive?
I do, yeah. Even last year, I loved the old layout as well, and then onto this new layout. Then it's obviously suiting the car still as well, and the reverse track as well. It seemed to the last round ran well both directions, so it definitely seems to suit me. I love it. So
definitely. Well, we've also heard that they're going to reverse it again tomorrow. So you're looking forward to that?
I am, yeah. I thought the last time I went better in the other way around, yeah. So hopefully tomorrow I'll actually go a bit better again.
Well, good luck. We're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for round 6.
That's great.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks to Brother Broderick and Fiona, Carol at home helping out with the car, and to Mark Mechanics, Saxman Wood Fuel, Carby Tires Centre and Greg Riley Crash Repairs for helping me out as well. They've done great work during the year, so without them I wouldn't be here.
Definitely. So. I've seen the work they put in. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Keith Kershaw inherits the production, a final victory then. Dale Ford unfortunately failing scrutineering with his Saxo after the race. More great rallycross action coming up then over the course of this weekend here at Pembrey. Now it's time for the 4x4 final. It's a combined final, this one, the two classes. Clubmans 4x4, sponsored by Racebred Auctions, and Production 4x4, sponsored by Albertech Racing. Due to the relatively small entry in each category today, they are running from a combined grid. The Clubmans cars go off from the front. In the black Subaru, number 191, Michael Morris from Ireland, and number 47 alongside him is Nigel Burke. Nigel won 2 heats, Michael Morris won the other. We should have seen Dara Morris out in this one as well. His car unfortunately broke down in the heats. It's Michael Morris who leads them off. Behind them is the Albertech Racing Production 4x4 category. Dan Beattie in the red Subaru leading them. He won 2 heats. Paul Davis, his great rival in the blue car, won the other heats, and the other car completing the 5 Subarus, Tracy Bennett. That's the back of the field, close for the lead here. Overall, it's Nigel Burke locking up there into Carter's. He goes off on the outside. We're on board with Dan Beattie. He could go up to second overall in the lead of the production 4x4s here. Yes, he has got ahead of Nigel Burke in the more powerful 47 car. The Clubman 4x4s, the fastest and most powerful cars we have got here at Pembrey today. It is Michael Morris, our Irish visitor, who leads the way ahead of Dan Beattie. Third is Nigel Burke. Fourth, Paul Davis. At the back is Tracy Bennett. 5 Subaru Imprezas out on track together here at Pembrey. This combined classification for the 2 4x4 categories. Michael Morris leads the way. A shame we haven't got Dara Morris out in this final as well. He broke down earlier on, unfortunately. Nigel Burke fighting back. I suspect we're going to see him go back into second place unless he overshoots Carter's hairpin again. He got a big lock-up as he tried to take the lead last time through, but he does go past Dan Beattie in the less powerful car for second overall. Dan Beattie still leads his race, though. He wasn't that bothered about Nigel Burke passing him there because he's in a completely separate category. Drivers we've seen in the Clubman's 4x4s in the past, Roger Thomas with his Ford Focus and his Astra. Also Mad Mark Watson, we saw last year here at Pembrey take a win with the Citroën Zara. It's the preserve of the Subarus this year. Michael Morris leading the way ahead of Nigel Burke. Swing their way through Brooklands onto Speedway Straight once again. Nigel Burke, the West Coast Signs car, in second place. And the problem there for Paul Davis, loses it at Brooklands, went over the grass there. A rare mistake from Paul, the reigning champion in the production 4x4 category. His title under threat this year, though, from Dan Beattie in the red Subaru. Michael Morris continues to lead the Clubman division up front. Nigel Burke trying to close back up on him. That mistake may have cost him dear, though, as he overshot Carter's hairpin for the first time, went wide onto the grass. Dan Beattie in third place. leading his category. Ahead of Paul Davis. Tracy Bennett, newcomer this year, she's back in 5th overall and 3rd in this category. Michael Morris continues to lead. Nigel Burke has caught him. He's going to have a look here into Carter's hairpin. Michael Morris defending. He moves across to the inside, and he's going to keep his lead here on lap 4. Nigel Burke in 2nd. He's done the quicker lap that time through. Had plenty of clear air to work in, having got clear of the production runners further back. So proof here that you don't necessarily lead a large grid of cars for a good race in Rallycross. In fact, you only need 2 cars to make a race, and that's what we're seeing here with these 2 Subarus. Nigel Burke reeling in Michael Morris for the lead. Into lap 5 they go, over the finish line. Further back, Dan Beattie still leads the production division, ahead of Paul Davis. A clear margin now after Paul's mistake earlier on at Brooklands. Nigel Burke sizing up Michael Morris for the lead. Then he's not going to be close enough this time into the hairpin. We can see the rubber marks there as Paul Davis spins. Oh dear, not having a very good race is Paul Davis. That's his 2nd mistake through Toyo chicane. He's dropped further back. He'll be battling with Tracy Bennett for 4th place. As we said earlier, we can see the tyre marks at Carter's hairpin where Nigel Burke locked up earlier on and overshot the hairpin. Michael Morris continues to lead the way. Well, Dan Beattie's going to win the production category because Paul Davis dropping back after that spin. But who's going to win the Clubman 4x4 division? Still wide open between these 2. What can Nigel Burke do on this last lap? He's pushing hard here in the number 47 car. Big flash of smoke as he changes up there down the speedway straight from the exhaust. Into the right-hander they come at Carter's for the last time. Dan Beattie continuing to lead the production division. Paul Davis in 2nd place, clearly having some handling issues with his Subaru. Just takes it easy through Toyo. He's got through okay that time. He'll be frustrated in that 2nd place. It's going to be close though for the Clubman 4x4 win. Here they come into the right-hander at Ollie's. I think Michael Morris has done enough. Been a good day for the Irish drivers today, and Michael Morris takes the Clubman 4x4 A final. 2nd goes to Nigel Burke, and who will come in 3rd place? Looks like it is going to be Dan Beattie, and he will win the production 4x4 category sponsored by Albertech Racing. He takes the flag. Paul Davis, despite that spin, still there in 2nd place, still clear of Tracy Bennett. Here comes Paul Davis around the final corner. Clearly a handling issue with that car in that race. He takes 4th and 2nd in his category. So the 5 Subarus all go the distance in our combined 4x4 A final sponsored by Racebred Auctions and Albertech Racing. Michael Morris the winner by 0.8 of a second over Nigel Burke, and then some 13 seconds further back Dan Beattie takes the win in the production category ahead of Paul Davis and Tracy Bennett.
Dan, first win at Pembry. Congratulations. That looked a bit of an exciting race out there with all the other guys.
Yeah, it was good. I'm just glad to get a win there now after that's been the only track to not have a win, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you've got that one ticked off, off the list, definitely. Yeah. How are you feeling about the reverse grid tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Last time I was here a couple of months ago, that was my favourite direction, so hopefully it's going to work out in my favour again.
Excellent. And you are only 1 point, or you were 1 point behind your main competitor, so that's going to bump you right up the table, isn't it, for the championship?
Yeah, it's looking close between us. 1 point behind, and now I should be in front, so yeah, it's looking good.
Excellent. Well, let's wish you good luck for tomorrow in round 6.
Cool, thank you very much.
Thank you. Michael, it's great to see some more Irish drivers over this year supporting the BTRDA Rallycross Championship. You have been over before racing with us. I take it you enjoy it then?
No, it's brilliant. It's for us, where we live back home, it's hour to the boat, trip over, another hour here. It's dead handy. And we've a double header. Yeah. 2 days racing, 1 weekend. It's brilliant. And it's just brilliant.
And you enjoy the track as well, of course?
The track is, like we're racing clockwise, anti-clockwise. It's 2 different tracks, 2 different days. It's brilliant. It's just, you know what I mean? That's what makes it interesting. And it's the reason we come over. You know, we could go somewhere else, but no, we're happy here.
And you definitely seem to be enjoying yourself out there.
Oh yeah, no, myself and Nigel, it's a laugh because we're the 2 old boys with everyone else and we're slagging each other off. So no, it's good. It's good. It's really good. It's enjoyable. And that's what we want. Like, you know what I mean? Sport, it's fun.
Yeah, you're enjoying it.
We're enjoying it. It's not about checkbook racing. It's fun.
Definitely. And the car seems to go absolutely fantastic around here on the tarmac as well as the loose, really.
Yeah, it's digging in a bit all right. Yeah, it's trying to get more grip. If it gets any more, it'll go over on me. But no, we'll keep going. Excellent.
Well, hopefully we'll see you back here again. Thank you very much.
No problem. Cheers. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Let's take a look at the provisional point standings after round 5 then. Luke Constantine of the junior class still up there at the top, but only 6 points clear of Ryan Taylor from the classic division, with Tony Lynch and Pat Ryan from the super modified separated by just 1 point for third place. It is close at the top. Tom Constantine and Ryan Stutchbury next in the order, ahead of production leader Keith Kershaw and the rest of them. That concludes round 5 here at Pembry of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship. The drivers will now get ready for tomorrow's action, which is round 6, but it's goodbye from us till then.